my name is Sudhi Sinha and today we will speak about managing your time well. Time management is a life skill, and that's one skill that if you can conquer, you will do really well at work. It will make your life way simpler at work. As in the words of Charles Richard, he once very rightly said, he said that don't be fooled by 24 hours or the number of days in your calendar. A fool gets 1 week's job done out of a year, and a wise man gets 1 year's of work done from 24 hours. So you need to decide how you're going to go ahead and spend time. Now, some bad habits can be very, very difficult to break. There's a famous saying which says that it takes 21 days to break any bad habit. So if you do it for 21 days continuously, it will become a behavior for you, a set patterned behavior, and that is how you will go ahead and operate from there on. And it needs to be 21 consecutive days. If you've had a break, you start your 21 days all over again. So let's look at some quick tips, ways that you can keep in mind that will help you eliminate any roadblocks that you face in terms of managing your time well. First, start with a list of easy tasks that can be done quickly. So when you make your to-do list, go ahead and look at those small wins that will help you progress through the day quickly. So if in your list of 20 items, there are 5 items that you can go ahead and eliminate and get them out of your way, it's a good idea to do those first and get started with the rest of your day. It will also keep you motivated to make sure that those bigger tasks that you need to complete, you're able to do so. However, you need to make sure that when you're prioritizing, you're looking at those 5 tasks that you need to do because they're going to give you some headway into your day, not that you want to procrastinate and not do those jobs, the ones that you don't like. It's not the best idea to start your day with administrative tasks because they're going to bore you. Start with those tasks that you like, that keep you enthusiastic, motivated for the rest of the day. Next, break a big task into smaller tasks. Now, if you've got one big project that you need to go ahead and deliver, it may seem very daunting, and to start off with, you would feel that you will never be able to get it done. A good idea is to break it down into smaller subtopics and prioritize, look at the number of steps that you need to go ahead and take in order to complete that big project. Look at what are the various milestones that you need to deliver, set deadlines for each one of them, go step by step, and go ahead and complete that big project. Also with big projects, there is a good saying which says, eat that big beetle or eat the big frog. Now, I'm not asking you to quite literally start eating frogs, but if you don't look like a task, like nobody likes eating frogs, it's a good idea to still do it and get it out of your way. And the best way of getting it done is to break it into smaller tasks and go about making sure that the entire projects get delivered as per the timeline that you had promised to. Next, start creating your to-do list for tomorrow, today. The last thing that you should do before you leave for the day is to create your to-do list for tomorrow. This will give you enough headway to get started with work right away the moment you walk in. And the simplest thing to preparing that to-do list is look at all the items that you were supposed to complete today. You couldn't manage to complete them today. You put them in. These should be the first items that you should be working on tomorrow, and then get started with actually tomorrow's task. And make sure that by the end of the day, you have as many items ticked off as you can. Next, use a calendar for everything. I personally use my phone for every meeting, every appointment, every training session, anything that I need to go ahead and deliver. I make sure I make a note of that in my phone. Now, the phone is what works personally for me. For you, it could be your planner, or it could be your mailbox, the calendar on your desktop. Anything that works for you, you need to go ahead and figure that out for yourself, as long as it reminds you well in time of what your various deadlines are. Another good practice is to set yourself 2 deadlines for any project that you need to go ahead and deliver. One day before the actual deadline. Second could be 15 minutes before, let's say, a meeting that you need to walk into. This way that you will ensure one day prior, when it reminds you, that you have everything ready for that big meeting the next day. 15 minutes before, you make sure that you've put your last bits together and you're showing up to that meeting in time. Next, ignore distractions as best you can. In today's day and world, thankfully to technology, fortunately or unfortunately, there are enough and more distractions for you. So your phone's constantly ringing, your WhatsApp messages keep flowing in, there is Facebook, LinkedIn, various social media channels that are there at your disposal. And these can really take away all your focus from your work and not really help you achieve your to-do list. Not to forget all the colleagues, your boss, different people from different departments coming and speaking to you. So the best thing is to look at how many distractions that you have and what is the best way to go ahead and avoid them. Now, obviously, you cannot go ahead and stop asking people to come to your desk. So you will need to go ahead and figure out what is the best way to deal with them. There are times when you can possibly stand up and speak to people rather than just offer somebody a chair and just speak for hours at end. That's a quick way of getting a meeting done quickly if somebody just come to your desk to speak to you. In terms of your phone, what you could possibly do is switch off data or set aside about half an hour every 4 hours, or if that can be longer than nothing like that, at work at least, where you put together some time where that's the time that you're looking at social media, whatever you need to check on, whether it's news, sports, what's happening on LinkedIn, what's happening in the world around. Take some time aside, answer all those calls, those WhatsApp messages, everything that you need to get yourself updated on, and then focus back on work. This will just make sure that you're able to get as many items ticked off your to-do list as possible and not create too much stress for yourself. Next, try and not multitask if you can. Research says that the human brain is not designed to multitask. And I myself fall into this trap like everybody else. We try to get a lot of things done all at the same time and at the end get nothing done. So it's best to focus on one topic at a time, one assignment at a time, get it done, get it out of your way before you move on to the next one. Lastly, to sum it all up, I leave you with a little story. I'm sure all of you have heard about JP Morgan. So there was this time when a man approached JP Morgan and he said that, "Sir, I have a brilliant idea in this envelope. And if you read this envelope, I'm sure you'll be ready to give me $25,000 US. So Mr. JP Morgan was very intrigued and said that, well, if I like the idea, I'm ready to go ahead, give it a shot. And if I like the idea, I will actually keep my word and give you $25,000. But the idea must be well worth it." So the man says, "I'm very sure that you will like my idea." And he hands over the envelope to Mr. JP Morgan. Now, JP Morgan opens the envelope, he looks at what was there on the paper, and he reaches out to his wallet and promises to pay the gentleman $25,000 US. Now, you must be wondering, what is it that was there on that paper that led JP Morgan to believe that it will be a very successful idea? Well, very simply, the paper said, make sure you go ahead and put together a to-do list every day. And the second point said, do them. So I'm hoping that everything that we've spoken about in terms of time management tips have been helpful and help you organize not just work, but your personal life also better. Thank you.